Hi, I don't think that anybody can begin to understand what people must have gone through. You know, I was just looking at those videos and I was just thinking all your points of reference. There's the sea down there and there you're up here. Suddenly the sea comes up here and it's coming in. What is happening? Is the island sinking below you or is the wave coming over? You know, it's very hard to determine exactly what's happening. You know, if you're aware of history, you hear of these things happening, but this seemed to be absolutely astounding and very much apocalyptic. It's massive that, you know, the average person cannot take that in. It must have been one of the most terrifying things to have actually gone through. And imagine being on the beach and then realizing that this was coming at you, and you run as fast as you can. It's at your heels and coming up, and just by getting to higher land you're going to save your life, or up a tree or something. Maybe the tree will exist, you don't know. I have to respect people who've been through that. I've been out at sea caught in huge waves, but the boats generally climb over them and go down and climb over them, no matter how high they are. But sometimes, you know, we hear of boats that don't do that, and that is the big problem. We as people do not begin to understand. But you know, I want to read from a book here. It's called Two Esdras, and somebody foresaw this all happening. And in the Bible it talks about the raging of the waves. And in Two Esdras, which is actually not a part of the canonical books of the Bible, yet it has amazing prophecies in it. As a matter of fact, I could understand why this book would not be incorporated, because it has such amazing prophecies. And listen to this here. The Lord Yah will threaten, and who will not be utterly shattered at his presence. The earth and its foundations quake, the sea is churned up from the depths, and its waves and fish with them shall be troubled at the presence of Yahweh and the glory of his power. For his right hand that bends the bow is strong as the arrows that he shoots are sharp, and when they are shot to the ends of the world will not miss once. Calamities are sent forth and shall not return until they come on the earth. And you know, there's a lot more that goes on, you know, on this, and I don't want to keep on reading from it. But, you know, the prophecies of the Bible are so accurate. We didn't even know a lot of these things happened. How did that man thousands of years ago know? In Two Esdras know? Clearly these men did not know. This is, if you understand the concept of a shorthand typist, and in the times past, probably the third or fourth job I had in my life was to write letters, and sometimes I'd have files and files and files, and I'd go through 3 typists in a morning as I dictated from all these files, and they'd take shorthand notes and number the files and put the number on each set of notes, and we'd keep it in the same order, and then that typist would go, then the next pile would go with the next typist, the next pile would go in the next typist, and they would type. And then when they brought them back to me, I had to check the letters to understand what I had said and make sure that they had typed it right. And sometimes you find errors. You could not have those errors, so you'd send it back to them. This book here, and these men, Ezra and Daniel said very clearly he didn't even know what he'd written. He'd just written it down. He did not know. He hadn't got the faintest clue. And he said, you know, I don't know what I've written here. And Yahweh said to him, well, you know, Daniel, you will sleep. This is for the time of the end, when people will understand. Why will we understand? Because we'll recognize it. When it talks about, like, huge explosions with flesh rotting off and all this sort of thing, we will understand that that is an atomic bomb. Or when it gives you the color spectrums of the atomic bomb, we will understand. Or when we see certain formations in Europe of various empires that we can look back through history now, and now we see one of the empires forming, we will understand. And that's what he meant. And you know, I've been a historian from the age of 10. I'm 66 now, so 56 years. I really have been quite a passionate historian. Nobody knew about it except me and my parents, but when I was a kid. But I just loved the heaviest books you can get, no matter how dry you gave them to me. And I remember reading Caesar's Wars at about 10 or 12 and all these things. I just loved history. I was just passionate about it. And so I can look back through the ages now. and I can see things that the average person can't see, because I've studied all these ages in great detail, and I've studied to see what happened in Alexander the Great's period and the Greeks and the various rulers and how bad they were, and what Ptolemy said, and going into the various emperors and what happened, and the fact that Heron and Alexander invented the steam engine. I know all these things. But when you read this book, it fulfills everything. And I don't know what the churches are doing not telling you people. Because this is like leaving a station you know very well, like Waterloo, and you come across all the stations down the line, you know what's happening. And for 40 odd years I've sat watching these stations pass me by, and I've known exactly and expected. I knew, for instance, we knew the Soviet Union was going to collapse as it did. When it happened, I was still surprised, because I'd known for so long that it was going to happen, and when it happened, I was terribly surprised. I've got to sign off now because time is not with me, but I would like you to visit that site up there. And I must say that YouTube has given us the ability to see things that we can't. We've got to thank these people for this amazing system they've got. Fine, they make money out of it. That's fantastic, and I hope they make a lot of money, because to me, it's the most amazing system out, where we can see all these amazing things. Thank you very much.